Well, now that we've teased it, we have to talk about it. So, Christine and I, we were getting a little ranty before this started, and I was like, "Wait, we have to talk
We
about
gotta
this on
hit
the
record.
podcast
Yeah,
because
exactly.
we've never talked about this topic before." Okay, so tell me the subject that you brought up, and tell
Yes.
me the experience either that you have had or that you've had clients come to you. Like, just tell us all the behind the scenes of what, and then we'll go from there.
Sure, absolutely. So, as I mentioned before, one of the services that we offer at our agency is we pitch on behalf of our clients. So, we're out there, pitching them to shows that are aligned, like they're the right audience. And recently, I had a big pitch week last week. So, that's where I really focused my week and I spend a lot of hours doing pitching. And I got back probably over all those pitches, 3 or 4 responses that said, "Hey, we're really interested in having so and so on our show. It would cost this much to have them on the show." And that goes towards blah, 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 marketing, whatever. And I am here to tell you that that is a huge, huge mistake. And I'm going to break down why. And it doesn't matter the amount. It doesn't matter if you're asking for $5, $500, $5,000. The second that you have a guest pay to be on your show, it becomes an ad. And so this is the first question that I ask when someone sends me that is I say, how do you disclose that this is that this is now paid content? And I got to tell you, out of those 4 responses I got, 2 wrote me back and said, we're no longer doing the fee. And the other 2 I haven't heard back from, because I guarantee that that's something they hadn't thought about. And what I mean by that is, how when social media got going, like Instagram got going, people like influencers didn't say that a product that they were promoting had been paid for, that brand had paid for it or whatever. That's why now you see ad or sponsored or things like that have to be on social media posts, because that exact same thing happened. People thought that was just the opinion of the influencer, that there was no money being exchanged, anything like that. They just maybe they sent them the product, but other than that,
Right.
It was it. And in reality, what was happening is those influencers are getting paid thousands and thousands of dollars to be promoting whatever product it was. And so I don't remember, FCC, someone was like, hold up, no. And so that had to become a huge thing in Instagram, or I should say social media in general, where you had to be putting, if any money was exchanged, you had to be putting ad or sponsored in that post. And that's the same reason why when you look at a magazine, you'll kind of see sometimes these things that look like articles, but they say paid editorial content at the top, because it's the exact same thing. It's an ad, essentially. Like, they're making it look like an article, but it says at the top that this is something that was paid for, so that as a consumer, as a reader, like, oh, okay, I can still make my own judgment, but I know that this is something that was paid for. And I can guarantee to you that this will happen to podcasts. At some point, there will be some kind of disclosure that you need to have if there's any kind of payment that's going into play. Now, I did come across, or one of the gals that pitches for me as part of our team, she did come across someone who does disclose. They actually mention that in their podcast. Then that's okay. Then that's an opportunity that I would bring to my client if I thought that it was the right fit for them to make the choice, if that's something that they wanted to do. But for the most part, I would say 9 times out of 10, there's no disclosure going on. And I'm just here to tell you that that's not right. That's not ethical. And I don't think people are doing it on purpose. I also said this to Crystal. I just think people don't know. They don't know what happens in their mind. They're like, oh, great. Well, maybe I could just charge like $100 and that would help us go towards marketing our podcast or go towards the work that I have to do to make this podcast. But again, I'm here to tell you that that is not what it is. It's not as simple as that. It then becomes editorial content. And besides or paid editorial content. And besides see, now I'm getting all soapboxy here. Like I said, I would. Besides the disclosure and how important that is, know that also that means you need to be giving me your stats. So a lot of times, podcast hosts, they don't necessarily want to share how many downloads they have, where people are from, this and that.
Right.
And that's fine. If we're doing just a paid media exchange, like where I'm a guest and Crystal's on, she doesn't need to give me that information. I should have done the research already and know who her audience is and, think that that's the right fit. But if you suddenly say to me, hey, Christina, I'd love to have you on the show. It's going to cost $200. Okay. A, how do you disclose? And B, what are your stats? Because now I'm paying. So again, that becomes an ad, and you better be giving me the information that I need to make that decision. So there's a few things there that I want people to keep in mind. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that you could give a fee out to and they're going to just pay it. But I'm here to tell you that that isn't the right way for you to be doing it. If you want to charge a fee, you need to be disclosing.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many thoughts in my brain right now on different directions.
I feel like I was like, and then if you could have said, you guys see me, I'm like all pointing like at things like, hold up, everyone.
Well, I wanted to tell you, like, I don't know if it's I'm being naive, if I just was kind of put up blinders, or I just had not come across this, because